What's going on, everyone? Welcome to We Are Tottenham TV. You might recognise me from other videos, from fan cams, from player ratings, wherever it might be. I am Sam. I will be doing this, bringing this show to you, brand new show every Tuesday, looking at everything across the world. We'll be looking at football in England, in the Premier League, in the Championship, all the way over to Italy and the Serie A and the Bundesliga. This week we're going to be focusing on the Premier League and all the talking points, all the winners from the weekend and all the losers. And we are going to start at the top. We are going to start with Liverpool, as they are now 38 Premier League games unbeaten. A quite simply remarkable achievement for Jurgen Klopp and his side. They won, unfortunately, at Spurs on the weekend 1-0. A game where, again, they showed how to win a game, really. Their game management skills are absolutely superb. Spurs had chances, we didn't take them. Gio had the biggest chance of all. Lamela had a chance. Lucas had chances. We just didn't take them, and they are just a steam train that keeps rolling on and on. And the question is really, are they going to go this entire season unbeaten? Now, you look back at 2004 and 5 and 6 when Arsenal went unbeaten. This team, I think, is next level to that team. They simply do not lose. Virgil van Dijk, the fullbacks are steam engines. They do not stop running. Andy Robertson, although despite he should have definitely been sent off, and we'll cover that when we look at VAR later on, they're just simply brilliant. Everything about this side are fantastic, and you've got to really, as a neutral, you've got to give them credit. And as a Spurs fan, I look at them and sort of say, this is what Spurs should be. We beat them 4-1 at Wembley back in 2018, October 18, I believe it was. Might be 17, maybe wrong. But we beat them 4-1 and we absolutely tore them apart. And that was sort of a kick up the bum really for Liverpool. And now look at them. They signed where they needed to sign. They strengthened well. They spent their money wisely. They spent their Coutinho money wisely. And now look, quite simply a remarkable achievement for Jurgen Klopp's side. So let me know what you think on whether Liverpool will spend this entire season unbeaten and make it arguably the best team of all time, especially we've seen in England. Now, moving on to lower down the league, Southampton, 5 games unbeaten for them. Another huge win on the weekend, winning at Leicester 2-1. Danny Ings taking his tally to 14 goals in 22 games this season. Again, a sensational stat for someone who's had his injury problems. He struggled at Liverpool. He's been absolutely fantastic at Southampton. Scored the winner again, unfortunately, against Tottenham, where hopefully we'll be able to get some revenge in the FA Cup next week. Southampton are now 5 games unbeaten under Ralph Hasenhüttl, and it sort of shows that if you keep your faith in your manager instead of just making a knee-jerk decision and sacking them, then this is what you can be rewarded with. 5 games unbeaten, winning at Leicester, winning it again at home to Tottenham. They won at Stamford Bridge. They drew with Crystal Palace, and of course they won very comfortably at Villa Park back in December. So a lot of credit to Ralph Hasenhüttl down at Southampton on the south coast, and they are another winners of the weekend. Moving on to the next sort of similar situation in Watford. Now, Spurs travel to Watford on Saturday in the early kickoff on BT Sport, and it won't be easy. Nigel Pearson has come in and has turned that ship around. They sat bottom of the table with barely any points. I think it was 1 win, and that was away at Southampton. They're also 5 unbeaten. Troy Deeney's back in the squad, back in the goals as well. They beat Man United. They've beaten Wolves. They were unlucky, really, I think, not to get anything at Anfield in Pearson's first game. But the Nigel Pearson revival is well and truly underway, and it will be a really, really difficult game on Saturday afternoon for Tottenham. Hopefully we can go there and get a result. But it's going to be no walk in the park, and we've seen what Nigel Pearson can do. He kept Leicester up with that great escape and sort of laid the foundations for that title-winning season that happened the following year. So he's a good manager, and he's got Watford playing good football. They've got good players, Gerard Deulofeu, Roberto Pereira, Doucouré starting to find his form again, scoring at Bournemouth on Saturday. So again, like I said, it won't be an easy game. So let me know what you think on Southampton and Watford and their revivals under these managers. Do you think they'll stay up? Do you think they'll progress even more and go higher up the table? So let me know in the comment section what you think. Final winner of the weekend is the one, the only, Japhet Tanganga, the 20-year-old centre back for Tottenham, or right back or left back, whatever you want to call him. He played all across the back four at home to Liverpool in his Premier League debut, and he was absolutely superb. And in my opinion, if that game didn't end in a 1-0 defeat, I think he would have been a strong contender for the man of the match. The Spurs, I think, have got a real gem on their hands. He can play anywhere across the back four, looks comfortable, didn't look out of place. Within the first 10 seconds of that game, he won a header, which sort of laid down the foundations for the rest of the game, for his game. And I think the future is bright for the young England defender, and I'm very excited to see what else we can see from him, and hopefully Jose keeps playing him, and we see a lot more positivity from the young defender. Moving on to the losers of the weekend. Now, this is the biggest one, I think, of the whole weekend. VAR again takes all the headlines. West Ham, Tottenham, Arsenal, just some of the teams affected by it this weekend. We'll start at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 1, West Ham United 0, or in brackets 1. It's Robert Snodgrass having his goal ruled out for offside. I think it was very harsh. Declan Rice was penalised for handball, but it's the handball. I think it's the handball rule more than the VAR in this one. I don't think there's anything that Declan Rice could have done to prevent the ball hitting his arm. He's in a running motion. You can only run in one motion. So it's a difficult one. Let me know what you think on that. Arsenal, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. It has recently been announced that it has been rejected, the red card appeal. I think that is the right decision. I do think it was a red card. I don't actually think he meant to injure the Crystal Palace player. I don't think he meant to get himself sent off, obviously. However, it's a horrible tackle and it's a definite red card in my opinion. Again, let me know what you think. And of course, Tottenham and Liverpool, it was a Tottenham throw-in for their goal. Should VAR look at throw-ins as well, and corner decisions and goal kick decisions? Should that be something VAR look at? Should the referee go to the pitch side camera and the pitch side monitor and have a look? For me, I don't think. I think it's just one of those things where you have to accept it. Not every decision is going to go your way. I don't think VAR should be intervening with corners and throw-ins. But that's something that maybe the Premier League need to look at. For me, I think it's fine as it is. VAR as a whole is just something that I think we're all going to have to just accept. It's not going anywhere. But I do think that the referees need to look at the pitch side monitors. We saw Michael Oliver do it in the FA Cup, and we sort of need to see it in the Premier League from not just him but all the other referees, and we need to have a bit of consistency with it, I think. So again, let me know in the comment section what you think on VAR as a whole, what you think of those 3 individual decisions that I picked out from the weekend. So moving on. Now, Bournemouth, 1 win in 11 games. And okay, that win was at Stamford Bridge, but any other manager in the league would have been sacked by now for form like that, you think. And Eddie Howe is very much on thin ice. To win just 1 game in 11 games is appalling. They lost 4-0 last week at West Ham, and they lost 3-0 this week at home to relegation rivals Watford. And if you're a Bournemouth fan, I'd be seriously worried. You don't look at all convincing at the back, and you don't look at all threatening going forward. I think a problem with Bournemouth is that, in a way, it's similar to Tottenham in the fact that if you look at the squads, the Tottenham squad and the Bournemouth squad, you can compare them from 5 years ago and today. There's not a whole load of difference. They've still got the likes of Simon Francis, Adam Smith, Charlie Daniels, Dan Gosling, all these players in their team that just, okay, for a couple of seasons in the Premier League, they were good. That's all you can really say. They were good. They kept them up. They kept them as an established Premier League side. But now they're sort of getting to the age where, okay, then it's getting a bit. They need to sort of find their new level. They need to replace these aging players. They need to find fresh young blood to come in and to keep them up and to fight. And I just think they're getting outrun, outmuscled, and outplayed in games now, Bournemouth. So let me know what you think on that. Should Eddie Howe be sacked? Should Bournemouth stick, or should they twist? Will they stay up? Going on to Leicester City. Now, up until about 3 weeks ago, people were saying Leicester might challenge Liverpool for the league, were challenging Liverpool for the league. Could they do it again? However, they lost at home to Southampton on the weekend. They were held in the Carabao Cup by Aston Villa in a game where they didn't look that threatening. They're missing Wilfred Ndidi until next month. He's had surgery. So how big of a miss is Wilfred Ndidi is what I want to is what I want to emphasise. Will Leicester now drop off? Will they continue to stutter in games? Will they find their form again? Is Ndidi sort of the glue in this Leicester City team? I think he's absolutely fantastic, and behind Fabinho and maybe Rodri is the best defensive midfielder in the league. So, do you think Leicester will drop out the top 4 and into the more of the top 6 race, or do you think they'll stay in the top 3, the top 4? And do you think Wilfred Ndidi is crucial and integral to this Leicester City team? And should Leicester maybe look at getting someone in this January transfer window to come in as a backup for him? Because that's something I think they really lack. And to finish off, I think there's no other way to finish off than with something Tottenham based, and we're going to finish off with Christian Eriksen. The Tottenham and Denmark midfielder was booed off on Saturday when he was substituted midway through the second half against Liverpool, booed off by sections of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and the Tottenham fans. Do I agree with this? Parts of me do, parts of me don't. He's given us great service over the years, scored some amazing goals, given us all some amazing memories, and for the predominant half of his Tottenham career, always gave 100% and always tried and was rarely injured. Now, one thing at Tottenham, if you play for the shirt and you always give 100%, whether you're leaving tomorrow or whether you're leaving in 5 years, you will be respected and appreciated by the Tottenham fans. Christian Eriksen in the last 12 months or so has not really given us that at all. We saw it on the weekend, we saw it last night. He just was not trying, he's not going into challenges, he's not picking out the right passes, he's playing it safe, going backwards, just doing short 5-yard passes, sideways and backwards. And to be honest, it's just not the Christian Eriksen that we knew. And I do wish him luck, I do wish him all the best, and thank you for everything that he's given Tottenham over the years. But when you don't try, you can't, and you look like you don't care, you're going to be booed off. And I don't blame the Spurs fans that did boo him off on Saturday evening. So let me know what you think. Does Christian Eriksen deserve to be booed off? Is he making the right decision moving away? It looks like he's off to Italy. We'll see on that. Would you keep him? Would you get him to sign a new contract? Let me know in the comment section what you think. Let me know if there's any other topics you think I should be covering. I'll be back every Tuesday looking at the Premier League, looking at other leagues, looking at whatever's been going on in the football world. And yeah, come on you Spurs, and thank you for watching.